Woman entrepreneur and successful are not synonymous. In fact, many women are starting businesses, but they are not staying in business. And for me, as somebody that is passionate about women entrepreneurship, I feel like I have to speak out and I have to share and I have to champion this, because I want to make sure that if you are a woman entrepreneur out there watching this, that you are set up to win. In this video, I'm going to share the habits and the soft skills that every woman who wants to be a successful entrepreneur needs to have in her pocketbook.
Hey, I am Chanel Yarber, and I am the brains and beauty behind Bright Girl Media. My goal is to empower women entrepreneurs with the tools and strategies they need to effectively market their businesses online.
Women started nearly 2,000 new businesses every single day last year. Did you hear that? 2,000 businesses every single day were started by women entrepreneurs last year. That is absolutely crazy to me to hear that statistic. When I read it, I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So many women are leaving the workforce and starting their own businesses for multiple reasons. And there are a certain number of us that are getting out here without understanding what it takes to actually be a successful entrepreneur and to have some staying power. And so I am very excited about women entrepreneurship, but like I said, I want to make sure that I share what it takes to not only start a business, but to stay in business and to successfully stay in business. Now, the first habit that I want to address is staying power. Now, that may sound very trite, it may sound very basic, but that is the honest to God truth. Staying power is the number one skill set or habit that I would say that women entrepreneurs absolutely have to have in order to stay successful in business. Because over time, you are going to experience so many different things. Each and every day is going to be a new challenge. It's going to be another problem to solve, or another something is going to come up and you're going to have to figure it out. And if you are somebody that just does not have stick-to-itiveness and you want to give up at the drop of a dime, you want to ball up in a corner and cry and, whine, then girl, you might want to go back and get a job. Because I promise you, if you think motherhood is hard, and I'm not a mom, so I can't speak to it, but if you think motherhood is hard, try managing a business, because it's almost like running a child and making sure that your kid is off to school and they're dressed well and they make you look good too. And so you want to make sure that you are not somebody that is faint of heart, and that you have some real backbone behind you, because I promise you, being in business is going to test you every single day. And the more you grow, the more money you make, the more people you hire, the more problems you are going to find yourself with. So make sure you have a little staying power. Now, with that staying power, you want to make sure you also have some thick skin and the ability to handle rejection. Because when you start putting yourself out there, whether it's like this in camera form and you're talking to people, or you're standing on the stage giving a presentation, or you're just on the phone making sales calls, you're going to face some rejection. Somebody is going to say no to you, and that is okay. My thing is, every no is leading me to that next yes. So you have to make sure that if people are saying no to you on a consistent basis, that you're okay with looking inward and giving yourself some real constructive criticism, or allowing somebody on the outside to give you some real constructive criticism so that you can become better. And I highly recommend that if you need something like that, get you an accountability partner, get a mentor or a coach, and somebody that'll be honest with you so that you can sharpen your skills, because you're not always going to get a yes. Sometimes, and many times, you're going to get a no. But just because it's no today doesn't mean that it'll be no tomorrow. So make sure that you thicken up that skin and you get out here and go for it. My third skill set or habit that you need to be a successful woman entrepreneur is great communication and follow through. So a lot of times you may communicate one thing or one way, or you have a voice or a tone, and sometimes people don't know how to take it, or they don't know how to receive what it is that you're saying. So sometimes you have to tamper yourself, or kind of figure out how to communicate in a way that your audience can receive what it is that you're trying to say. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you are lessening yourself. It doesn't mean that you're muting your voice. It just means that you are becoming a more effective communicator. Not only that, but being able to write well, being able to speak well, and to articulate your thoughts and articulate your vision. That is going to help you to be able to get funding and to get grants and to get contracts and get in front of the right people. So you definitely need to be able to communicate in a way that it gets your point across and that you are taken seriously. Now, as far as the follow through that I said, you want to make sure that you are following up and making sure that not only did you communicate the message, but that the message actually got across in the way that you wanted it to. And that when you are calling people or making sales calls or emails or whatever the case, if you don't get a response from that person initially, then go ahead and follow up and follow up and follow up again, because sometimes you'll win the contract simply because you kind of wore the person down. So make sure that you are open in your communication and that you are communicating effectively and often. Now, here's the thing about handling rejection and following through. Most contracts or most deals are not done on the first or the second touch. A lot of times it takes 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes up to 12 times for somebody to not only see your message, but to hear your message and to communicate with you and to connect with you in order for them to be able to trust you enough with their money, especially if you're going after large contracts. So don't feel like if you've made one sales call and you get on the phone and they say no or they blow you off or whatever, that is the last chance and you completely just throw your hands up and you cry and you're upset and you don't want to talk to anybody else anymore. You have to kind of program your mindset in order to be able to take those hits and keep on ticking. Okay, so for me, in the beginning of my business, I will be honest, I hated getting on sales calls. I did not want to talk to people. I did not want to explain myself. I did not want to do any of that because I was so fearful and so afraid of rejection, and I did not like hearing no. So I would psych myself up and I say, okay, today I'm going to make these sales calls, and I would get on the phone and I'd make 2, 3 calls, and after I've heard 3 no's, I'm like, oh, I'm over it. I'm done. This is stupid. I can't take it. And I would take everything so personally and internalize it. When in fact, it wasn't me always that they were saying no to, and it wasn't always about me. 9 times out of 10, it was something about them. Either they didn't see the vision, they didn't see the need, or maybe they didn't have the money, or, whatever the case may be. But it's not about me and it's not about you. So you want to make sure that you thicken your skin and you don't give up on yourself, because in business, like I said, you're going to hear a bunch of no's, but a no today does not mean no tomorrow. I have won plenty of contracts simply by following up with people and going back and saying, hey, you said no for this, but can you tell me why you said no? Or can you tell me what it is that made you make this decision this way? And then I can go back and fix it or tweak it and then get back in the game, and boom, now I'm winning. So be open to constructive criticism, be open to following up, and thicken that skin, and don't feel like you can't take a no, because you can. If you've gained anything from this video thus far, I want you to go ahead and like it, and also share a comment below. I want to hear about how you handle rejection, because I know as women sometimes it is rough, but it's okay, I promise you. Now back to what I was saying. Another skill set that you absolutely need in order to be successful at being a woman entrepreneur is time management. Time management is one of the #1 things that I hear from my coaching students on why they feel like their businesses are falling apart. They don't know what to do when, and so they get lost in the weeds. They start doing one thing and they don't know how to shift or pivot. They don't know how to block their calendar off properly, and so they're just kind of all over the place. And I get it, because when you are working for somebody and you're employed by that person, that boss is telling you every day what to do or what they're expecting of you. But when you're an entrepreneur and you're kind of doing this thing on your own and you're building your own thing, sometimes it's hard to actually figure out how to prioritize things and manage your time properly. So make sure that you are up on time, that you are not sleeping in, that you're getting up early, and that you're setting your intentions for the day, whether that is journaling, praying, writing in your planner, whatever you need to do to get your day off to the right start. Manage your calendar and manage your time. Do not let your time manage you. And the 5th habit that I'm going to share with you, which probably should have been #1, is to have integrity, ladies. This means showing up authentically as who you really are, not being ashamed or afraid to be who you are, showing up in your real skin, but also letting your yes be yes and your no be no. And it's okay to say no. Sometimes we take on way too much and we overpromise and underdeliver, and it makes our brands look bad. So you don't want to do that to yourself. Make sure that with the last point, you're actually managing your time properly so that you can know how to say yes to the projects that you really want to say yes to, or the things that you really want to say yes to, and you can adequately say no and understand that, hey, I really don't have the time, or I really don't have the bandwidth to do this at the capacity that I would like to perform. So no, I will not take this on. And that is so okay, because people will respect you when you show up that way, and that your yes is your yes and your no is your no, and that you're actually delivering what you promised. Because if you don't, it can heavily, oh my God, it can damage your business. So make sure that you are operating in integrity, that you're not ripping people off, that you are not out here negotiating and trying to skimp and scramble and, cheat people and all this other crazy stuff that I see out here in the business realm. Make sure that you are operating in integrity, and that one point alone will take you so far, so fast in your business. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and make sure you smack the bell so that you get notifications each and every time I post a new video or go live, because I'm sharing all the tea on digital marketing and running a successful business, and I want to make sure that you are in the know. And if you're a woman entrepreneur who is looking to level up, make sure you check out my video, Opportunities for Women Entrepreneurs. Now, let's chat in the comments. Share with me some of the habits that you are developing as a successful entrepreneur. I want to hear if you have some additional ones that you're actually working on or that you've mastered that you'd like to share with the community. Until next time.